Howdy y'all, welcome back to another modded Minecraft video. I'm Ragaras, of course. We're going to talk a little bit this episode about blood magic. Got our, I guess, ziggurat pyramid blood magic level, or what does this say, tier 5. Let me find my little thing, there it is. Gotta admit, I'm not really thrilled with this mod. It's comparable to, I've said before, it's comparable to Botania. Does a lot of the same stuff. The major difference, of course, is armor. I think the armor in this is probably the best armor I've ever seen in a mod. Just because it when you get attacked, the blood armor takes from your life points. Now, if you've never used this mod before, everything is based off of life points on this. Again, thinking of this as like a technical mod, this is your engine, this big pyramid thing here. This is your power source. Now, of course, you're limited to which tier you're on. A tier 5 like this one, this is 10 million, I believe, life points, and how much you can do is based off of that. Now, like I said, the only thing I really like about this mod pack is the armor. Not mod pack, this mod. Other than that, it just doesn't really offer anything that other mods don't already offer. I mean, so if we go in and we look at, I'm not going to talk too long about blood magic. There's a ton of videos out there. If you go in and look, I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff with spells. This is the most current version, I believe. It also adds some alchemical stuff. I don't know if he's trying to borrow that from Thaumcraft or not, but there's just really nothing in here that, like I said, you can't do with another mod, and you can probably do it easier with another mod. The only reason I would put this one in is the armor, and it does function very, very well with Serenade of the Nether with Botania. But other than that, I just really don't see anything about it that makes it overly impressive. There's really no graphical fanciness with it. Everything that all the spells and rituals and stuff you set up all require these multi-block structures, which I don't know if these would actually cause any lag on a server or not. I don't know how they function. I know multi-block structures will have a tendency to cause some sort of lag on servers. Of course, we're playing single player, so it's no major deal to us. Trying to think of how I want to put this, but what we have here is a tier 5 altar. Now, when I started this, I built up the altar first. I didn't have any of the runes and stuff, but I laid it out so I knew exactly what the dimensions were going to be. So I didn't start with a tier 1 like on ground level and then have to tear it down and move it up. All I had to do was add in the runes, basically. And what we have here is runes of sacrifice, and then the runes of speed. That just makes these little plates that are in here, their slates, a little bit faster because you drop them in this altar here, and then the longer you leave them in, the higher level slate it'll become. But the more life points it'll take out of your altar here. The altar, of course, is tier 1. These runes, these 8 runes that are around it, when you make those are tier 2, and then when you come down and make these next row, those are tier 3, and then when you come down, now up here there's no requirements for anything, just the runes, but when you get down to the tier 3, you do have to have this 2 high, some form of solid stone and then glowstone on top of those. And then over here on the tier 4, you do have to have these bloodstones at the top of each of the pillars on each end. And then, of course, on the tier 5, you need 4 beacons on the edges. All right, so those are the requirements there. There's all kinds of different runes. How you want to set it up is entirely up to you. I just went for sacrifice to keep the life pool up, and then down below, of course, one of the rituals that you have is the Well of Souls, or Soul Well, whatever it's called. And what this does will continually damage mobs that are in a certain range of not only the altar, which is right above there, but of the ritual. We've got witches in here, which is pretty much, it seems like, what everybody does is they put witches down here because they never die. They'll hit themselves with healing potions. That way they don't ever die. But what I also have in here, sorry, hit the mic there, is 3 spawners. I can turn them on or turn them off. You can hear that noise is the reason I don't leave that on very long. That's only if I were to do something that were to drain a lot, and that would kind of give me a little extra health to it. Let's get away from there. That's really noisy. Now to start, what I did is you'll start, of course, with runes of self-sacrifice, and you can see over here I have a few runes of self-sacrifice in there, and then I had a Fallen Canade from Botania. This provides, if you have a mana pool close by, it provides the regen 2 effect. So I would just sacrifice my own life points, or my own life, cut myself, whatever, and to start. And then what I did after that is I built a spawner directly above the altar here. It was a 5x5 interior. So the room itself was 5x5, and there was 3 spawners in there, and it was also cursed earth, and then 3 fans that would push them forward down to a drop shaft that would drop them literally right on top of the altar right here. So there was just enough space to see their feet. I would suggest to put some upside down half slabs there to keep the baby zombies from getting out. As far as I can tell, the baby zombies do not give you any life points. Just like no loot, they also don't give you any life points. So yeah, if you don't put that little half slab there, boy, they get out, and they are hard as hell to hit, because there's something about the pathing they have on this thing. They run in these huge circles and swipe by and hit you, and they suck. I hate little baby zombies. But I would just sit here and let them fall, kill them, do what I needed to do to fill up the life pool to get the runes, and then once I got it up to tier 4, of course, you can make the Well of Suffering, and then you could set up your spawners down there, or grab you some witches. I just produced a bunch in the MFR spawner over there, but just remember, you do need to catch them with the Jailer Safari balls, these little things right here, because if not, they will despawn. So if you catch them and then drop them in here with the Jailer's Safari ball, they won't despawn. It's kind of like putting a name tag on them without giving them a name. I think you can name them in a Safari ball also. So blood magic, not. I won't lie, I'm not overly impressed with it. I mean, it's a cool mod. It just takes a lot to set up to do anything with it, and it's just huge areas. Like this is the automated. Let me go sleep so it's a little bit brighter out here. If you want to do anything automated, just the rituals are really, really big. I mean, I don't mind having to use all kinds of reagents or materials to do something. That doesn't bother me, but like if it required all of the materials to do all these, but they could do it in one block, I would like that a lot more. It just takes a lot of space, because if I wanted to, say, automate the production of multiple different, because with a new blood magic to like increase the range on some of your rituals, like the farming one, or the green grove ritual, you would have to pump in these reagents. I guess you call them, like Aether or Terrari, or again, I think maybe that was borrowed from Thaumcraft. These element sort of things. You have to pump those into the ritual stone to increase its range, and then to automate that, all of them need one of these simple catalysts. It's not really hard to automate a little bit. Like you throw them in this chest with this ritual. You put your oh darn it, your chemistry set there. It's going to pull from this chest. You have to put one of the items, whatever you're making, in the altar here. It's going to pull from this chest, and then when it's finished, it's going to dump it over here in this chest. So, I mean, that's nice. You just got to load this all up. But let's say you wanted to chain it, you'd have to have this big doohickey thing here, repeated several different times. A bunch of different times. That's going to take up a lot of room. I'm kind of a compact builder, I don't make massive structures. For something like that, I would probably just, hollow out a huge area underground and do that, but, it's just not very cool. I'm sure in some of the other mod packs with like AE and factory managers and stuff like that, it might be easier to do. But in a mod pack like this, it's just not. I mean, you could do it, but it wouldn't be something that would interest me. That's just a lot of work for the returns aren't that great when there's, like I said, there's better ways to do it, easier ways to do it with other mod packs that are out there. Getting a world hole again. I don't know why I keep getting these. I mean, they're just. I mean, it wasn't here just a second ago. I'm going to pause for the cause 1 second, fix that, and we'll be right back.
All right, that's an easier fix than you would think. Really, all you have to do is kind of fly out of range and then come right back, and it pops back in. I don't know why that keeps happening. But to kind of sum up my feelings on blood magic, if it's there and you want to go through it, it's cool. I mean, in combination with other mods, maybe it might be cool. No, I've seen some things where they've made like movable quarries with it, using the I can't remember the name of it, the mod that allows you to fly. I've seen some neat stuffs with it, but by itself, not that big of a deal. It is a lot of work to get it up to a tier 5. Not at this level, really. I mean, when you have as many resources as we do in this world right now, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, especially if you have access to spawners to, get your initial life points going, then it's fine. If you have the ability to capture multiple witches, then it's fine. It comes down, do you have a mod pack? Because I've been doing some testing for my own kind of mod pack. It's not going to have any technology mods in it, no MFR, no thermal expansion, nothing like that. Now, what is that noise? If you don't have anything like that, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. What am I hearing over here? So it's up to you, really, how you feel about the mod. Me personally, it's not going to be in the mod pack that I'm working on right now. Botania, of course, is going to be in it, and I've added a couple of new mods also. Since we're not going to have MFR, and actually since I've updated, I've had a lot of problems with the RedNet controller. It actually crashed the world to the point where I wasn't even able to get back in. I had to go into MC Edit and move my character away from it to be able to load back in and have whatever the issue was. Because when I broke the RedNet controller, it left like a ghost and crashed me immediately when I was close to it, and then would not let me back in the world. So I had to move my character away from it, and then when I logged back in, the ghost, whatever it was that was crashing me, was gone. So I added in what's called red logic. This is not red power 2, it's called red logic. And it's only, if we look at it, it is only the kind of the logic portion of red power. So it's really just the wiring, the logic modules, and then of course a bunch of lights. Apparently whoever whoever made this one just liked the lights. There is a thing in here that I've never seen before for circuits, integrated circuits, but I don't remember that from red power at all. So I would probably have to do some checking up on that, see what that is before I even messed with that. But I did fix the automatic living stone and living wood creator, and I used a little bit of combination of Botania and red logic and extra utilities, which I can't target it, but which will be in the new mod pack that I'm making. But it will have all the quarrying ability and generators and stuff disabled, so none of that stuff will work because it's just going to be strictly kind of non-technology kind of stuff that minus redstone. Now what this does, kind of the same thing that it did before, but what this does uses these Ranun carpus flowers, and what these do is whatever block they're planted over, so underneath that dirt block is a stone brick, tells this plant that whatever bricks it can pick up or blocks that it can pick up, it's going to place on that same block. So you can see that there are 8 stone bricks right there. The reason there are 2 is sometimes this one doesn't pick up all of them and it's unable to place in the block that's closest to that one over there. So that's why I just have 2. But what this will do is it will fire it'll fire 8 blocks, either stone or wood, whatever you put in there. These flowers are going to pick them up and try to place them. Now, of course, when this is running, there will already be living stone or living wood right here. And the reason I throw these out first is I want these flowers to pick up the stone or the wood before the living stone and living wood gets broken, so they don't accidentally pick those up. And then once it throws out 8, this is going to break the blocks that are beneath it. And let's see here, I got 64 wood. So what you do is you'll just throw whatever you want in the dispenser. You can have that automatically filled. I do have a chest over here that's got a pipe that went to the old one. I just haven't hooked it up to that yet. So what we've got is a timer, a T flip-flop, another timer, and a counter. All right, and the way this works is, now right now it's off. This redstone signal is stopping this timer. But if this was on, this is going to go 100 seconds. And the reason I've got it at 100 is it takes about 90 seconds for these to change from stone to living stone or from wood to living wood. Okay, and I give it a few extra seconds just to make sure they've all changed before this fires. So when this goes off, it's going to fire this T flip-flop, which is going to turn this off. Now this timer is only set on half a second, so it's going to start clicking. It's just going to start sending a pulse out every time it clicks, and it's going to fire this dispenser, so it's going to fire out. Then down here we have a counter set to 8. When it counts, it's going to increase by 1, and then when it reaches that count, it's going to turn it off or reset it by 8. So when this hits 8, it's going to fire out around this wire here that goes in back into the counter, resets it. So it'll be reset back to 0. And then this wire over here is going back to the T flip-flop, which is going to shut this off. So this is kind of how you turn it off. So when you're ready to start it up, you're just going to give that a little flip, turn on your timer, and it's going to start. See, you heard it break, but now it's going to place those blocks. In about 90 seconds, these will all change over to living wood. Okay, and then about 10 seconds after that, this thing is going to turn back on, shoot out 8 of whatever you have in the dispenser. These will pick it up, these will break, and then these flowers will place them again. So it's completely automatic. It works perfectly. The other system that I had in the other video, it just didn't always work. There were times that it would, because it was using the block up or bud detector basically. This one would change. There'd still be 2 or 3 that weren't, and so it wouldn't always get all 8. So you'd always come back over here and have either just wood or cobblestone in here, which kind of sucked. But now with the red logic, it's working absolutely perfectly. And I could have done that with a RedNet controller, but like I said, after that crash, I'm not going to mess with that thing again. I don't know what's wrong with it, but if you place it down, try to program it, and then when you break it for me anyways, it's leaving like a ghost block behind, and it's not like the full block, it's like pieces of the block. Okay, now you should see it just turned, so another 10 seconds here. It should click it off. Give it a second, give it a second. We gonna do it? There you go. So now it fires out. Make sure you don't have any sort of magnet mode going from, you're not using a magnet ring or anything like that, because you will pull those out of there. So that's Red Logic. That's, I think, going to be a big boon to us in the new mod pack. Like I said, I'm still putting it together, still trying to figure out what I want to put in it. It's going to have some of the stuff from here, some mods that I've never actually seen before. I've been going through checking mods, and so I'm going to add some other stuff. But one of the ones that I'm going to put in there, but we're not going to talk about it now because we're almost out of time, but a little preview. It's called Project E. So if we go down here and we type in Project, if I can type Project E, some of this stuff may look real familiar to you. It's really Equivalent Exchange 2 rewritten for 1.7.10. It is not made by the same author. I think Xeno, the one who does Xeno's Reliquary, which will also be in the new mod pack, he initially wrote Equivalent Exchange, and then I think Pahimar took it over in an Equivalent Exchange 2, and then eventually now it's in Equivalent Exchange 3, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's really doing anything on 3, but on 2 we have everything in here, and we'll go over that in another video because it really does. There's just so much to it. It doesn't look like a lot when you look at what's under it, but the mechanics behind it, if you've never played with it before, it is an older mod, of course, so if you're new to Minecraft and you never played it, there's quite a bit to it, and what it lends to your gameplay. So we'll talk about that one in another video. But, yep, that's going to be it. Thanks for coming by. If you're a Blood Magic fan, sorry, man, I just really don't care for it. Well, it's not like I don't like it. It doesn't add anything that, like I said, other mod packs don't already add. So unless you just want uber armor, then I don't see any real reason for it. So thanks for coming by. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And if you haven't subscribed, that's really the best way to know when I do put out a video, because as you can see, there's no consistency here. So until next time, guys, I will see y'all later.